June is Black Music Month. CSB TV celebrates Black music.
So what was your earliest memory of you beginning to recognize that music was the industry you were going to work in?
Well, I mean, what age? It was a decision after I got out of the Marines. You know what I'm saying? I can't really tell you what made me actually go into the recording session, but I used to play the drums in church. You know, with music. Hey, we part of the rhythmatic people, so you know, all of us have some type of rhythm, baby. You know what I mean? So that's the best way I can answer that.
Okay, what or who was your inspiration? Because even though everyone has stories of how music has helped them get through depression or helped them go through a sad loss or help them conceive a child, a lot of parents, when their child says, you know, I want to do music, they discourage them and they say, just get a 9-to-5, just become a doctor. And a lot of people are now working a job they don't want because they didn't have the encouragement to get into the music business. So how did you thrive to do this, even though most people are discouraged from doing this?
Well, my parents were the same way. The thing that made me different is I took my father's advice and never quit my day job. So what I really end up doing is turning my day job and my night job into the same job. I got out of the Marines and I started trucking. You know what I'm saying? So I'm the only rapper in hip hop history that actually delivers 18-wheeler freight to the city I'm going to whenever I get a show there. So that's how I never take a loss. And I mean never. So I mean, wherever I go, it's almost like I'm paying myself to go on vacation, or I'm paying myself to do my shows, and that's whether the club owner dip out, don't pay me my other money and whatever like that. So I make money going and I make money when I leave. So even if he's shouting me, he gonna pay for it in the long run because I'm not going anywhere. I've been doing this for the last 25, 30 years. So you have to make a decision so the burden falls on them then. And as long as I was generating money and being able to do everything I needed to do, parents wasn't that hard on it. You know what I'm saying? So that was my way of dealing with it. You know, I had to use an innovative mind, you know what I'm saying, never quit my day job. So what I ended up doing, I just enhanced that. If you really want to do something, you'll make a way to do it. And that's what happened with me.
That is a clever idea. So how did you, because today there is, you know, many people call it YouTube University. So there are ways to learn everything. But back in the day, prior to the internet and prior to downloading music, there was really no school for music. There was no, this is how you get a record deal. This is how you do it by yourself, blah, 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 blah. So how did you even know what to do, and what did you do?
Determination, number one. And number two, always keeping in my mind, if they did it, I can do it. So the bottom line is, I'm not going to use somebody else's vehicle to go where I need to go. I'm going to build it myself. So with that being said, as long as I'm creating money, I can definitely invest into myself. And I don't expect nobody to invest in me if I'm not invested in me. See, you either pay somebody to do it for you, which is going to be more expensive, or you dig up the information and you do it yourself, in which that's free. See, that's the way I've been able to survive in this game. Meaning like everybody works for me. Meaning like there was a time that I did my own videos and all that other type of stuff. But as I started to grow and couldn't wear all the hats, that's when I started to bring other people in, not before. I would trial and error. See, I learned a lot of this stuff as a kid. As a child, I owned a 77 Camaro that I still have today. And what it was is while I was going through school and all the other type of stuff, you know, I needed a power steering pump for my Camaro. And everybody was saying, go to Pep Boys, go to Pep Boys, go to this mechanic, go to that mechanic, and they did that. You know what I'm saying? And then everywhere I went, they wanted something like $350, $400 to put this power steering pump on. And I'm like, dang. And my dad said, son, if you use your head, you just go up there and buy the part and put it on. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it started. So it's like, all right. And then at that time, I worked at Texaco Express Lube. I wasn't even out of school then or nothing like that, you know. And I said, man, I work all week. I ain't making but $150 to $200. It'll take me 3 weeks to pay for this, 3 weeks of my pay. And I liked it buying music, buying tapes at the time, you know what I'm saying, and spending my money on that type of stuff. So what I did was, the idea that me and my dad came up with, son, think about your time versus your money. If it's gonna take you 3 weeks to be able to pay for that power steering pump, even if it take you a week to put it on, as long as you don't quit and you get successful at it, and you use your mechanically inclined mind to do it, you'll save yourself some money by doing it yourself. So that's what I ended up doing. Instead of giving up 3 weeks worth of pay, I bought the part and I kept fooling with it till I got it on. You got to use your own mind. Don't ever become like a drone. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like they got all this stuff lined up for you. Whoever's at the top didn't follow that line to get there. That's just the line they're telling you. Forget that. Everybody you see on top didn't follow the rules that they telling you to follow for you to get there. Nah, you got to think. You know what I'm saying? You got to always be innovative to be able to do this. And that's why we talking today. This is my 12th album. I've never been signed by nobody. Every record, every shirt, every coffee mug, every bit of my jewelry pieces, my doggone pimp cups and everything. All this stuff has been bought and purchased by me, being able to just stay innovative. You got a mind. You got to bring your mind up to snuff to stay focused on what you have to do. If you really want to get there, you'll do it. The same way when you're dealing with a girl. If you really want it, you'll chase her if you really want her. But once you learn that you are the most important, integral part in your world, you won't chase her at all. You'll go and do what you need to do for yourself. And I trust you. Trust you and me. They'll chase you. And that's where I am. You get the way you're trying to go in your life, and they'll follow you. And that's a fact.
Thank you for that. So your latest single, I believe they sent me that in the email. Does every one of your songs, well, I'm pretty sure every song has its own conception story. So what was the conception, the inspiration behind this latest single that you have put out?
Oh, talking about Run Tell That?
Yes.
That one? Yeah, that should have been the one in the email. Well, what it is like, I was working with Benzino, and Benzino had a show, and he was already in town, and I was like, well, you know, I'll mix up with him, you know what I'm saying, break some bread with him, and then, you know what I'm saying, we'll get this track. A lot of times, see, by me being in the industry and know the back ways to do this stuff, you can save yourself a lot of money and a lot of headache, but you build your little nest egg the way you be able to pay for the things you need when it's time. Like when it came for the Run Tell That, I already had the mind thought of what I wanted to say, because so many people talk crap about me. You know what I'm saying? Because like when people talk a whole lot of crap about you, this and that, you know what I'm saying? They'll pass all the bad, but they won't pass no good. So that was the whole thought pattern behind Run Tell That. And Benzino was happy to get on, was happy to work with it because of that. You know what I'm saying? People run and talk all this other type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure in his life, in which he's under a microscope way more than me, he knows how that feels. You know what I'm saying? You're only gonna pass the bad. You ain't gonna pass nothing good I did at all. You know what I'm saying? It's like in normal everyday life. As long as you're doing something good, they ain't got nothing good to say about you. The minute you got something bad, then they say, yeah, he's a monster. You know, now all of a sudden it's Dr. Frankenstein. You know what I'm saying? So that was the determining thing behind it. And when I said, you know, because like I do have this pimp, this pimp forte in my life, and everybody was saying, well, you know, pimps are this and pimps are that. All my girls got businesses. That's why I said the last line and said, all of them love this pimp. I started businesses for all of them. Now run and tell that. That's what I meant. You know what I'm saying? Meaning like I ain't with that slavery crap. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a man, and you know what I'm saying? And most men, whether it be from traditional use or just thought pattern wise, they, you know what I'm saying, they desire to have a woman with them for some particular reason. So I mean, that's what God made us for. You know, so that's where I'm at with it. And I feel like the more women, the merrier. As long as they don't get on my nerve and I'll argue and be fighting and stuff, they can stay. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have no upset women in my life. Nowhere in this country, because I tell them up front, I'm your best friend. You know what I'm saying? Well, this is her. This is terrible. This and that. I said, listen, I'm on your side. You're unhappy being with me. I think you should leave. Just stop. Just punish me and don't talk to me no more. I'm with you. I'm on your side. So let's just do that. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not making you happy, don't stay with me and be unhappy. I don't want nobody unhappy cooking my grits. I don't want nobody unhappy, you know what I'm saying, in my house living with me. If you unhappy and you mad, I don't want you here. I'm on your side. I'm not even on my side. You know what I'm saying? Even like I said, do what makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? Because like if you're looking for the perfect man, you better find him in Jesus or in reading the Bible or something like that, because he ain't here. You know what I'm saying? You deal with whoever you with, you deal with their negatives as well as their positives, and you decide whether you want to stay and put up with it or not. You know, and that's just the way I live life. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do, and you can decide whether you want to stay with me or not. That's the way I roll.
Okay. All right. So your last question, if you had the chance to do a collaboration with anyone, whether they be dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Well, most of the time I get who I want eventually.
Okay.
I get whoever I want eventually. You know what I'm saying? It may not be right then, the moment might, you know what I'm saying? It have to be a good deal. You know, it have to be in my price budget, the way I feel comfortable paying or working with it. You know what I'm saying? But I truly enjoy the people that do music with me, that want to do it with me. Now, I enjoy those people. You know what I'm saying? Especially they going to work just as hard as I to move the track as they are. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever want it to be, all right, well, it's your song. You own your own. I don't want to do relationships like that. And most of the people I do music with, it ain't like that. Then I go from the chat, Benzino, Cocaine from out there on the West Coast, Mr. Smith, they want money, a young rapper coming up out of Columbia, or whatever. Meaning like we talk about all this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? If I have a relationship with you, not saying I'm not gonna pay them, because I pay everybody. I want everybody to have what they need for them to survive, because this is their job. You know what I'm saying? I would never ask Project Pat to do a free song for me. I would never ask LeChat to do a free song with me, or Benzino, or anybody. You know what I'm saying? I'll just have to get the money, then get the breaking bread. Period. No matter what the number is, if I truly want to deal with you, I'll get that money up, or I'll work out something the way it commences. That's NATALAC, the Marine.